Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another podcast of Is This Really Your Job? With the three Muppets. Here we are. It's a Monday afternoon. Let's go. Hit it.
Go with the flow, 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 go.
Peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly.
1, 2, 3, 4, let's go.
Peanut butter jelly. At least we're back.
Welcome to the ADHD Corners.
Yes.
So, obviously, as you would have seen from the last one, I've got a hair.
Oh, you hairy boy.
I've got one of my beard hairs that's got stuck in the mic.
Oh, they're my mics as well.
Disgusting.
Well, my mic covers anyway.
Fucking one he has.
There's one he is. Yeah, so obviously we're just doing the chats, and then episode 20 we're going to do one big quiz.
I would like to put a disclaimer in.
Yeah, you got the same thing, haven't you?
Don't want to talk about it.
I'd like to put a disclaimer in. I would like to apologise if anyone was offended in...
If you've got a midget's cock.
Yes, that. Last episode, if you was offended, we would like to formally apologise.
Also,
it was not our
grow up.
intention. This is for entertainment purposes only. Okay.
And everything that we did say was a quote of what we'd read or seen.
Yeah.
It wasn't our opinion, and it definitely wasn't the opinion of the BBC.
No.
And if you get offended by us talking about midgets' cocks, fuck off. Behave yourself and grow up. Anyway.
I do think we need to address them as little people.
Yes.
I'm just quoting what was on the poster. Quote unquote.
But we've got to be respectful.
Oh, yeah, 100% respectful. I did just want to see if he had a baby's arm as a penis.
Which is completely
Look at him,
valid.
he's just going for fuck's sake.
It's
We'll just
completely
apologise.
valid in terms of if you are going
Don't
to...
want to be cancelled, William.
If
We've only
you-
got off the ground, okay?
Yeah.
if
Just go
you're
off the
going
ground.
to any strip show, you are entitled to think, how big is the Tadger?
Yeah.
It's a strip show, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, if you went to an accountant's and they were like saying, right, these are your figures for the year, and you go, yes, last question, how big is your phallus? It's not appropriate,
It's
is
not
it?
appropriate at all. But if you go
But if
into
you're
a
at a strip show,
it's a perfectly valid question.
Yeah.
And I honestly think 95% of the people that were in said building all had the same things. The thoughts.
Okay, well, moving on swiftly.
We're just
Right.
normal humans.
Yeah, like I said, love to apologise, and let's move on with what we're doing today, which
Speaking of which, I've got a topic quickly, because
Oh,
you
go
just said swiftly, and I'm just going to throw it out to you.
go for it.
So, Taylor Swift.
I fucking knew you were going to say Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
Taylor Swift's been on tour
yeah,
and playing
yeah.
different venues around the UK. New
She
York,
has,
whatever.
yes.
Yeah.
How much would, regardless of being a Taylor Swift fan or not, how much do you think is appropriate to pay for a ticket? I want to hear your opinions on ticket resale and part of our industry that is happening quite a lot. So we haven't discussed this off air.
No, we haven't actually.
So
This is straight off the bat. He's not
It
even
is
prepped.
straight off the
it
bat,
just
yeah.
came to my head when you said moving on swiftly, and I thought, actually, this is quite a good topic for us right now.
Yes.
So we're just going for it.
Are we speaking strictly for Taylor Swift because you couldn't pay me any money in the world to go see
No,
that
that's
woman
why I
sing?
said not about her or if you are
Just
a Taylor Swift
ticket
fan.
prices in general to go
For
see
somebody,
people.
as regardless of if you like him or not, the stature of an artist.
Yeah.
Like Taylor Swift, like I went to see AC/DC, like the big names.
The
Every
in-demand.
household knows that name.
The in-demand tickets.
The
The people
huge,
want
but
to
we're
see.
talking like
world pop
world
stars.
dominating. Your Beyonce, your
I think-
Taylor
yeah.
Swift.
I think.
your,
Okay, right.
do you know what I mean?
So
Bruno Mars-esque.
Yeah,
I've got
you know.
I've got an opinion on this.
Go on.
And my opinion is it's very subjective on how much you like that person, because I'll tell you why.
Also demographic of the audience.
Yes, that's
Taylor
it.
Swift, mate. A big thing of her audience is young teen girls or young girls, sub 10 years old, right? They are diehard. So when we were growing up, it was One Direction.
Yeah,
That they all are.
Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber
Yeah.
and people like that. When I was growing up, it was like the
Girls
boy
Aloud.
bands. There's Girls Aloud, but
Yeah.
then a little bit before that, there was like NSYNC, Backstreet Boys.
Yeah,
Chuckle
yeah.
Brothers.
Chuckle Brothers. Do you see his reg?
Yeah, to me,
To me, to you.
Legend.
Great registration. Anyway, again off topic.
Big fan.
What I'm thinking is, with Taylor Swift, and people aren't stupid. It's a
No.
full. People literally have full-blown businesses about reselling tickets.
Yeah.
So
What
I've
were
got-
they on? Do we know what they were sold at?
No.
Yes.
What was they?
Saw it on TikTok, 450 quid.
What
No.
brand?
As in, like when Ticketmaster released the tickets,
Oh no.
I'm going to say it's got to be, 85 to 100 quid.
I
was
would say
gonna-
tops 150.
Yeah, I was going to ballpark in that range.
Let's just go top end.
AC/DC standing ticket
Yeah.
was 130 quid.
Each.
Yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
I
Right.
reckon top dollar at
Let's
if
just
that
say
was
150.
AC/DC,
Yeah.
that was AC/DC at Wembley.
Yeah.
I'd say okay, let's take Taylor Swift at Anfield.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say
She
top dollar
performed, didn't she?
180.
Right, easy maths, 200 quid.
Right.
Right, 200 quid.
So not Anfield, but I've got a friend who got caught up genuinely in a resale and was like, I really need to go, and had a proper chat about it. And it was to go to the London gig for Taylor Swift. Guess how much a resale? Do you know this? Or
No.
have I told you?
No.
I think it's old man.
I'm not telling you the friend, but they bought 2 tickets to go and watch Taylor Swift.
I'm going to say
Resale.
resale because obviously everyone was mad for it.
London
I'm going to
resale.
ballpark. I'm just going to spitball 650, 700 quid.
I'm going to say 500 quid each. So £1,000.
800 each.
1,600
I
quid.
went far off. there.
No, you weren't.
But like I said,
What?
it's subjective.
How do we feel about that?
Right.
And there's nothing against that.
I'm
going to
take it, mate.
because it's their personal choice. What I want to discuss is this ruining our industry? Are people letting it ruin their industry? And when people are people gonna say 800 quid to go and watch Taylor Swift for a night? No judgment. That's what you want to do. It's your money. But then when someone comes to us and go, God, you'd never make 800 quid a night. And you're like, but you would go and stand in a crowd of 80,000 people
Yeah.
to have a view, which you'd have a better view of the TV.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like,
I
what's going on
think,
with our
right,
music industry
I
here?
think I'm gonna. Everyone knows that I really don't like Taylor Swift. I just think
Okay,
it's
well,
whatever.
Let's say
take it
it's David
subject.
Guetta
No,
or-
subjectively out of it.
yeah,
Me and Freya went to go watch James.
yeah,
One of my favourite bands ever. Right.
Yeah.
If luckily I had a friend who was working at the festival, so he got me complimentary tickets and VIP. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much, Joe Robinson. However, if I wouldn't have been able to get them and
Mhm.
they could only get the tickets at resale, I'd pay 300 quid a ticket, hands down.
But
Because I really want to go. It's like if Oasis came back, well, apparently they're all getting back together, I'd pay $5,000 to go see
No,
them.
but so this is the whole thing. It is
Yeah, that's
subjective
it.
to how much you like the person. So
Yeah.
my opinion is, yes, ticket touting is really ruining the industry. It's very similar to when Prime came out and they were people were paying £1,000 for a flipping bottle of Prime,
Oh, the drink.
Wakey wines and all that.
Wakey wines.
Yeah, do you remember that? Yeah.
Mate,
So that's
I'm
supplying.
sorry if you
Yeah.
because he is probably watching. I've heard he's a big fan, but you are an absolute nonce.
Mate,
Yeah.
he's got loads of stuff going on about him. He's going live, and apparently his bird's proper abusive towards him.
Well, and also apparently he's going bankrupt now. He's selling his
Yeah.
shop. He's selling
Oh, is
Wakey
he?
wines. Yeah. Anyway, that's besides the point. So it's supply and
Probably
demand.
retiring, mate. He's selling a bottle of £2 drink for £1,000.
Well, that's it.
Some markup.
So he's done all that, and then you look at like Air Jordans. That's another one. You know,
Yeezys, mate. I used to
Yeezys,
buy
yeah.
Yeezys at 400, 500 quid a pair because you couldn't
so
get
it's
them.
all subjective on how much you're willing to pay for something. However, for live music now, you see the stories of arenas being half empty because people don't want to pay £1,000 for a ticket, and it's ruining the experience. Okay, but likewise, right? People are profiting off other people's business. Okay, that's essentially what it is. But if someone said to me, and actually I had this the other week, someone said to me, I've got 2 tickets to the F1. Let's go to Silverstone.
Yeah.
I didn't even bat an eyelid.
Yeah.
I didn't even bat an eyelid, and I wish I went now, but there was only 1 ticket left and I needed 2. But it were 400 quid a ticket.
There was a thing where, so obviously when you buy tickets now, you have to put your name to it, obviously. And then
Yeah.
that ticket does have a name on it.
Yeah,
And
and
they
then
do-
you transfer it.
Yeah. Oh, can you transfer it?
Yeah, I've just had to do that recently because I went to watch Catfish the Bottomen last week. Sick
Ah.
gig, by the way. I was on Lee's shoulders.
Video
you
on
see
your...
the photo?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. It's good,
Sick.
good, that.
So good.
Catfish Botman.
But so, yeah, they were like, "Look, we're buying tickets. We're buying 4 tickets. Do you want one?" I was like, "Yeah." So I sent them over 65 quid a ticket.
yeah.
Not
It's
bad.
good. It was
Yeah,
good.
happy with that.
I was happy with that. I'd pay that.
It looked busy. It's like...
It was rammed.
yeah.
It was rammed. And also, Like, I'm not against my thing as well. Ticket prices from an artist. I'm not against that because musicians and everyone and the venue hire and there's so much
it's
more.
It's not like that 65 quid
But
goes
it's
to
like-
the
oh,
artist.
yeah.
There's like
But yeah,
big splits.
but
Yeah.
anyway, got me a ticket. Fine. Cut long story short, he was away, and his flight got cancelled. So he was like, I don't even know if I'm going to make this gig. So he had to transfer me the ticket.
Right.
And you can transfer it and put it all in someone's name and accept it without a fee and stuff. So it was quite easy to do on Ticketmaster.
Right, okay.
But my point is, I think, like, it's like Wolf of Wall Street, right? Have you watched Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah,
Where
of
it's like
course.
supply to demand and all
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Create the demand to supply. The ticket resellers have just created a very clever business because they
Yeah.
will back like your Beyonce, your Taylor
Yeah.
Swift, your Oasis, because they know it's a guaranteed sell. So they'll
Yeah.
buy as many tickets as
Yes,
possible.
as many as you can get your
And then
hands
if
on.
you're making £300 a ticket and you've got 1,000 of them, one night,
You make
and once you put them up for resale, it's borderline passive income, isn't it?
yeah,
Because you buy the ticket,
someone buys
hold
it.
it off for a
is,
month,
Yeah.
and then resell them.
But it's
You don't have to stand outside the ticket entry now trying to flog. You, have to put 'em- you
remember
just
that?
put them up there, leave them up. If people have or not.
but it's
Remember when that used to happen, by the way? Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
like when
go
you
on.
used to go to like a footy game or whatever, tickets for sale, whatever, and there used to be a
Yes.
dodgy boy on the corner
Yeah.
with like 10 tickets
when I was
in
in,
his
when I was
coat
in
pocket.
Vegas, they were doing that for shows.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
Selling last minute
Yeah.
cash.
And New York as well. New York as well when I went.
Oh yeah,
For
for
Broadway.
Broadway
Yeah.
stuff. But I think it's bad that certain things get exploited. Like, don't get there's so many videos of like young girls crying their eyes out and literally just standing outside the stadium.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Oh,
of
and
that.
people that got fake
Oh, it's around the
tickets.
corner from me. You could see it. You could hear it. From
Could you
my
hear it
house.
from your house?
You could hear it from my house. Yeah. I
Like,
filmed
and
it
that's
somewhere.
sad, right? That is sad.
And when someone's paid
gotta
that much
think-
money for a resale and it was a fake ticket and they got declined from the
yeah,
gig.
it's
So
like,
That's
they all
the
have
game, man.
they've got the bots, they've got the programs on their computers that just snipe it. Like, you remember years ago on eBay, it was bid nipping.
yeah.
Right,
It's like you nipped in at the last minute.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the same thing with all these. As soon as tickets go on sale, you go on. It's whoever's got the fastest broadband speed, where you are in the country. You know, it's an operation, isn't it?
yeah.
But
But
It's a full business.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, it is a business, and whoever's buying them, let's call him Bob. Bob's not asked. Bob's going to make 30 grand if he can get 1,000 tickets. He's happy with that, probably more. But I think it is bad because of, obviously, with the Taylor Swift thing, it was a load of young girls, mate, and you could see that they were genuinely, like, hysterical.
And also the people that did go, that it's, like I said, subjective on how much you're willing to pay.
Yeah.
To them, let's say Susie's 16,
Yeah.
right, and she's gone with a load of her mates. That to them, that's going to be a core memory that they'll remember for the rest of their lives.
Oh, mate, 100%.
You know.
100%.
I gotta say, I think now I could be corrected here, I could be wrong. I think the buy-on and the sell-on culture in the UK is the worst. Because when I was in
Yeah.
Sydney,
America's bad.
is it? Well, when I was in Sydney, I was chilling with my mate Hip, and she said, "Oh my god!" Like it was Monday.
Yeah.
She's like, "Harry Styles is playing at the arena in Sydney on Wednesday night. Do you reckon we can get
SCG?
tickets?"
The cricket
Yeah,
ground.
yeah, the big cricket
Yeah,
ground. And I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be a fortune, isn't it? It's gonna be a fortune resale."
Yeah.
Harry Styles got them for price value resale.
That's what I mean.
It was like $90.
There you
So
go.
I paid what, 60 quid
Not bad
to
at
go
all.
and watch
I bet it was a good do,
Harry
actually.
Styles. And actually, it was an amazing gig.
So this is the thing, right?
You got the
Like, you
cinema.
just plugged something in there. Peter Kay, right?
Mm.
He had to put so many more shows out
Yeah.
because it was that popular. Okay, we got it at face value. There was no resale on that.
It's funny, isn't it?
Yeah,
Weird.
we had to wait a bit. We were really lucky.
This, what you just mentioned before about where you are in the country and internet speed, me and my brother Tom, Tom lives up in Lancaster,
Yeah.
in Morecambe. I was on it here. We were both trying to get tickets. And he's
Peter
like,
Kay.
"You're online." Yeah, Peter Kay.
Yeah.
This is when they first came out. I couldn't get them. He got them. So we went on the opening Thursday. But we were both on the thing at the same time. Went right, refresh now.
Yeah,
he got in, I didn't.
yeah.
But I was
It's
just
got
like,
to do
sure,
with, like, peer
how's
dresses
that?
and all that as
How
well.
the hell's that?
So
Makes
this
no
is
sense
this is
to
what
me.
I mean.
Demographic, geographic.
Technology.
Yeah.
Weird.
God
it's
knows.
It's a proper weird one because we had to wait a while, but I'm glad we went.
Yeah, he did.
You know,
Very,
I
very
mean, we were
good show,
up
that
the
day.
gods, to be fair, but we still went. It was still good.
It's good. It's good showing it.
Very. Have you seen it? Are you planning on going?
No, I haven't
Oh
seen
mate,
it.
it's flipping it out.
Do I
it's
need to
good.
go and watch it?
Very
Yeah,
good.
funny.
Very good.
Peter Kay, very northern comedy.
Yeah,
Funny, mate.
but it's
Proper funny
It's
guy.
just very
I know
good.
a few northern people. Might see what they're up to.
Are you planning on watching
I'll
it?
go
or you
again,
just go
mate.
wait for DVD. Wait for DVD.
Wait for the DVD.
How old are you, lad?
No, because last time he did a tour.
DVD.
No,
I'll
'cause
get it you
last time
for
he did
Christmas.
it,
I'll
he-
get Christmas for you.
No, because he did that in the last thing. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's the one recording for the DVD. It's like, because he makes that joke,
Yeah.
didn't he?
He did every single tour that he's done. He's always done the one with the
put it on
DVD.
DVD.
Here's a
Yeah.
question for you. When's the last time you saw a DVD player? Not Blu-ray. DVD player.
Mate, Freya's mum's got one at her
Really?
house, and it's got that much dust on it. There's a Freeview box next to it.
Oh, heck.
Do you know?
That is old school.
Do you want to hear a cracker?
Go on.
My dad's got one in the music room for his in-house PA karaoke system.
Wow.
Because it's the
Oh my
only
God.
thing that will play his old karaoke discs that we've got a collection of to go through the full band sit up in the music room.
Mate,
That's
I
amazing.
cannot
And
wait.
it's
till we
it's
come to
a
yours.
car from Cars, the film. It's an old Cars
Yeah.
That's
DVD
cool.
player. And you
What,
the
it actually
bonnet
looks-
pops up, and you put the disc in. You fold the bonnet up and press play, and it's like a little go-kart remote control. Is the DVD remote, and
Right.
the karaoke comes on the projector.
I have never wanted
Wait.
something so much in
Wait.
my life.
I'm not joking. Right. Do you know how much that'll be worth?
No,
No, mate. Like,
That-
I'm
yeah,
not
that'll probably be
joking.
worth it.
Like,
Have a
that'll be
look.
like
Get
2,
me a
3,
picture of
400
what it
quid.
looks like. I want because
I'm
I'm
not joking. That's
have a look.
like that sort of thing is genuinely sought after because obviously
Cars DVD. Which car was it? Is it the red one? Or,
Purple.
Lightning
Purple.
McQueen. Wait, what?
no, it's not like that's what I
The
thought.
purple one. There is no
I thought-
purple car. I know
thought
my
it was going to be
Pixar.
Lightning McQueen or the rusty pickup truck.
Mater.
Rusty. Yeah, is that what it's called?
Terminator.
Maybe it isn't purple. Can't remember. He's
Might be
got it.
dis-
Is it a
might be
Hot Wheels one?
discoloured.
Because if it's a Hot Wheels one, mate, that'll be even more.
Yeah.
Just, I'm really into my pop culture and reselling and all that. I'm big
Speaking
in
of
that,
reselling, GC, if you ever need anything, he's your plug.
Yeah, I know I can tell a value of something pop culture. Like, you know, when we was growing up
Yeah.
and like all that sort of old school like Hot Wheels and
Pokemon
whatever.
cards, mate.
yeah, I could tell you the value like that because
Really?
I just know that sort of shit.
See what you do with your
Watch-
spare time, mate. I like it.
Yeah.
Make that money.
Yeah. It's weird, just a weird hobby in it more than anything else. Anyway,
Can't find it, boys.
are we straying off topic? Or are we gonna get?
We
are
are,
we gonna get
we
back
are.
to it?
To sum it up, I think you should have a limit on what you could resell it for, e.g., double what you paid
Yeah.
for.
Yeah, you've made your money back and some.
Well, mate, like, I suppose it's just that supply to demand because when Eurovision came to Liverpool, everyone was Airbnb in their apartments
Yeah.
for like 2-3 grand for the weekend and basically earning 3 months, 4 months rent or mortgage from one weekend.
But it's different
Yeah.
though, because if they're you're talking about tickets, right? Ticket resale.
Yeah,
The Airbnb and stuff, that's supply and demand.
and that is personal choice.
Exactly.
Like, you either want to go to the concert or not, but
And it's
also you can
subjective
pick a
as well.
smaller
So
gap.
that's the
you can-
thing. It's
yeah,
subjective.
you are right.
It's the ticket resale. That's a whole different thing. But like if you're renting
Is-
something out, that's
How do
supply
you
and
resell
demand.
the tickets? Sorry, I'm quite. So obviously,
Well, you
say
buy
you
the
buy it on
ticket.
Skiddle or Ticketmaster or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you then resell it through Ticketmaster?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would do. Yeah.
So that surely there should be a thing through Ticketmaster.
There could be like,
where-
trying to
say
do
maybe
that,
like
aren't
20% or 30%. Like they could cap it.
That's what I'm saying. Double it. So say
Yeah.
you buy it for 200 quid, you can only sell it for
but it's
400 quid.
well, I'll tell you. Here's something for you.
You're still making for
Right,
200 quid.
still on subject, but we will wrap it up. Comic-Con in America, like I said, I got a weird hobby. They have a thing now that if you buy a scalped ticket, they won't let you in.
A what ticket?
Scalped ticket, a resale.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you're
yeah.
only allowed if you. Yeah, but
If
what
you have
happens
a
if someone wants to go
genuine
and they
ticket.
can't go?
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
it. So you either risk it and you try and get in with a scalp ticket, right?
It's a big thing, isn't it, in America?
Yeah,
Comic-Con?
or you get caught buying a scalp ticket and you don't get let in.
See,
So you can
for
lose
me,
money.
I disagree
Wow.
with that. Because what happens if I was like, I've got a Comic-Con ticket, and I don't know, some occasions happened that I can't do it.
Yeah.
So why don't you have my ticket? You go and enjoy it, because I can't go anyway. And so you might not be allowed in with
Yeah.
my ticket, even
That's the
though
flip side of
I'm
it.
in Timbuktu doing this thing and I'm unavailable to go.
Yeah.
So then
It's
it's,
a- it's a
one
weird
person.
one.
Do
I
you know what I
think-
mean?
I think I don't look too much into it. I just know it's a thing. But I'm,
Surely you
I'm
can
sure
rename
there's a
it.
way that they'll go about it and all that, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway,
Taking
moving
us on.
swiftly. Talking about Taylor Swift and
me.
all that. What would be the one person or artist or movie star or celebrity that you would get starstruck by? Straight.
Wow.
Because
Ian
we do
Brown.
a lot of events, and there's a lot of affluent, a lot of high end, sort of big celebrity clientele. We do get those sort of events.
I would say for me, I actually did get a little not starstruck, but I was a bit like shit, mate.
put out.
Yeah. So obviously, like I do a lot of stuff for the footballing community, of footballers, whatever.
Your city's DJ.
Yeah, City. Which that doesn't bother me.
No.
Seeing like Grealish or Kyle Walker or anyone like that doesn't bother me.
But what I'm going to say is some people go mental for that.
Yeah, everyone's like, "Oh my god, mate, you do like house
Again,
parties
it's
for these," and I'm
subjective,
just like, "Yeah, they're just normal blokes to me." However, I'm a Burnley fan, so I got booked for Robbie Brady's 30th birthday, and
Can
the
you explain who
entire
that is.
he used to be a player for Burnley.
Okay.
He now plays for like Preston League Championship, right, or League One. I turn up at his 30th birthday, the full Burnley team's there. I'm like, bah. And one of my mates, Arcade, he's Burnley's DJ. So when Burnley got promoted, he did what I did for City, but for Burnley.
Yeah.
And I was like, mate, he was like, mate, you've just played the treble party for City. I was like, I'm not arsed. Well, obviously I am arsed. But I was like, you just played the championship thing for Burnley.
what you...
My
And he's
team.
sending me pictures of him and Vincent Kompany and him in the first team.
Yeah.
But I got starstruck when, well, not starstruck, but I was a bit like, oh my God, like Burnley's first team has just walked into this venue and they all said hello to me. Whereas, like, but like on a band front, it'd be someone like Morrissey from that lead singer of the Smiths.
Yeah.
Or like the Gallagher Brothers,
Yeah.
Oasis, something like
But
that.
you, Greg?
I don't know how I feel about this because, I've been very fortunate to meet quite a lot of famous people. I don't mean this flexing at all, but because we're in the music industry, I don't know how many musicians I would feel like because I know what they do. I can relate and I can relate the hard work, but sports athletes, I think I get starstruck
Yeah.
more. So like, because I'm like, not to name drop, but like I've met Paul McCartney 3 times.
Yeah.
I've met
As have I.
Noel Gallagher, Paul Weller, Brad Pitt.
Where'd you meet Noel Gallagher?
Noel Gallagher was at Paul McCartney's private event in Abbey Road. You know when
Oh,
went
yeah, when
down?
you went down to see the sound check.
Yeah, so I was in a room with Simon Pegg,
Fucking
Brad
Paul
Pitt,
Weller, man.
Noel Gallagher,
Yeah.
Paul Weller, James Bay.
Yeah, I remember
Do you know
that.
what I mean? And
Fucking
I,
Paul Weller, man.
yeah, cool. And they were having a chat, and I was there. It was like this, and Paul was playing a few songs. Like you got to remember, like we shook Paul McCartney's hand and had a few words.
Well,
and
he was
chatted.
there. We got pictures and graduating, didn't we? So,
And got invited to his sound check in Liverpool, and then obviously I got the opportunity to sit amongst 30 people with all these famous people. Like Brad Pitt was like, I don't know, about 3 seats in front of me. Like,
Wow.
it was, and so it was really nice. But if Tyson Fury walked in, I'd be like, wow.
Really?
Yeah, boxers, mate, for me. Like
Yeah.
Mike
Well, do you remember
Tyson,
when- do you remember
Tyson
when Ricky
Fury.
Hatton
we
was
met
at
Ricky
Neighbourhood?
Hatton. Yeah, but
He's out every single weekend in Manchester.
Ricky, I appreciate what Ricky did in his day, and I would have loved to have met him in his day. But for me personally, I know he's back on the discipline, but a time where I met him, he wasn't at that disciplined stage of his life. He was at a very much.
Imagine if you
He
met-
was just like anyone else, just
And
pissed in the bar.
Tony
really.
Bowyer
no offense
was-
to him.
Tony Bowyer was in neighbourhood
Yeah,
that time.
and when I played the Everton,
Is
what
it?
was it? Was it an Everton Cup match or something? Blue Nose, but we played in Wembley. I don't know what they were doing. They played a semi-final or something in FA Cup, and Tony Bowyer was backstage with us, and then he went on, hyped everyone up because he's a massive Blue.
Yeah.
Can I just say, you know, Tony Bowyer?
Yeah.
I played his wedding.
Did you?
Peckford and Castle, yeah.
Did you?
I did his wedding.
That's cool.
That's
But
cool.
like
his
I think,
wife's
like,
scary. by
Paddy
the
the
way.
Baddie,
Yeah.
Paddy,
I'd be starstruck with it because I don't know.
is he not always out and about in Liverpool?
Yeah,
Or does he
yeah.
just make it
he's
out
just
like
a
that?
normal lad, man. He's really cool. From what I've seen, like
He
obviously,
seems a lovely bloke.
he's just a nice guy. But
Touch
like
the DM, see if we can get him on the pod. He loves a pod.
he
Paddy
does
the
love a
Baddie.
pod.
Yeah.
But my thing, I think, is not to take it away from musicians, but it's too close to home. So even
Yeah.
if you've played, because like I've got one of my really close friends, MT Jones.
Yeah.
He's like touring around
He's
Europe.
smashing it, yeah.
Like I went to one of his gigs. He got me on the guest list, and I went and just to watch him and the band play. I know all the band; they're just lovely guys. And I sat next to this bloke from London. He got the train up, and he was like, "So how did you come across MT Jones?" And I was like, "Well, Mikey." I was like, I met him at uni. Like we played pub gigs together for 50 quid. Like I've stayed at when I moved to Liverpool, Mikey's mum and dad were like my northern family. Like his mum's done me washing.
Yeah.
Like proper lovely people.
Yeah.
And then I've got this guy, like this 50-year-old bloke, like proper fanning, and he's like MT Jones. And I was like, because Mikey is incredible at what he does, but it's so funny because, like, I feel like, not that I'm on the same level as these people, but I understand like they're just normal people. Like you go and play Wembley, you play we all go and play, and then I know what it's like to drive home after a gig.
Yeah.
And chill out, put your feet up, whether you play to 5,000 people or 50 people. It's the same sort of process. So musicians, even though some of the art, like Elton John or something like that, I'd be like, wow, you know. But to get into a ring or a octagon to fight some other bloke who is really highly skilled, or woman, you know, obviously, and to have that mentality, because I've never really, obviously I did a bit of boxing when I was a kid, but not to that level. I just think that's where I'd be starstruck. I'd be like, you're training for months on end in your life. You don't know what they're training. You don't know their team strategy.
Yeah.
And you're getting in front of millions and millions of people.
Yeah.
And I just think that, like, it's not a hard thing. It's not, oh, he's well hard. It's that mental strength.
Yeah. That's what would get you starstruck.
It just gets me started. Yeah,
No,
I just
but-
want
so
to
this is
know,
the
but I've
thing.
also don't know what I'd ask, and I'll just be like if Tyson Fury walked in now, I don't know why. My instant thing is I just want to see the size of his hands. I'm probably stroking his fists.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, these are amazing. Do you
These
know what
are
I mean?
Yeah.
big
I just-
hands.
That's what would get me starstruck, I think.
But do you not think it's weird? Because I had this the other week, right? So I did the rap party for Dragon's Den.
Big
Right.
gig.
That
Nice.
was but it was literally like the day before. So I got asked the day before to do this gig, right? It was only playing an hour. It was in Manchester, Dear Sailor, that obviously you look after. And I was surprised you weren't on it, but one of them.
I was
Where were you?
I got Ruben on it. I think I was camping somewhere.
Yeah, so you got Ruben on it.
put
I
Rubes
didn't
on
even know it was a Dear Sailor till the day before, right? And I was expecting it would just be the crew, right? I thought it'd just be the producers and the gaffers and all the rest of it. No, all there's 6 of them now. 6 dragons were there. So Stephen Bartlett, Peter Jones,
Is Gino
Deborah
one?
Meaden.
What? Gary one? Gary Neville?
No, Gabriel Neville wasn't there.
He was
Is
there
he?
for an episode
He
or
was
two,
there
but
for
he's
an
not a
episode.
main.
But it was the woman. It was the
I
woman.
saw
who-
something that he was
it
on
was
it.
the woman who was on Shark Tank, and she now does Dragon's Den, and she owns Skims. It's like a lingerie brand. I think. Right. So it was Deborah Meaden, Peter Jones, Stephen Bartlett, Sarah Davies, Tuka Suleiman, and then the other woman who I
Skims
can't
lady.
remember her name. But they were all sat together, and they were literally, as you walk into Dear Sailor, they're on your right, on the outside,
yeah.
right? And I went in and I didn't even spot them. I just walked in, right? And it was all kitted out.
Yeah.
Went up to Ruben. I said, "So are the dragons here then?" He went, "Look out there." And they were all sat there.
Wow.
And then the event planner came up to me and went, "Oh yeah, can you just stand out and play to them?" And I was like, "Are you serious?" And I'm not being funny, right? I think it's because, and the reason why I think it's because I
Do you
got
watch
so
Dragon's Den?
So this is what I'm leading on to.
He
Ah.
loves it.
Oh, do you?
When I was starting up my business, I watched a shit ton of Dragon's Den to see what the people would invest in and what people were coming up with and all
Yeah.
the different patents and all that. So I was really into it. And I got outside, and obviously Stephen Bartlett pops up on TikTok all the time. He's really heavy on social media. He was out there, and I no word of a lie. Where you are sat now is how far I was playing to them. But it was all 5 of them, just one of them. It was all 5 of them. And I think that is as close as I got to being shit scared on a gig. Because I was like, if I mess up here, and there's an intimate venue.
Yeah, mate.
Right?
Yeah. It's 50, 60 people.
If I mess up here, I'm done.
He used to come in Neighbourhood every single Thursday, Stephen Bartlett. Him and his old
Did
business
he?
partner, yeah.
Well, that's before he got big money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On one of his episodes, he mentions a DJ who used to play in Neighbourhood.
Really?
You.
Which was me, yeah.
That's amazing.
Once again, where's the tag? Where's the name
Sake.
drop?
To
Come
be
on,
fair-
Steve.
Imagine if Steve Bartlett shared you on something now.
I know.
By the
What-
way,
what?
ladies and gentlemen,
Do you know what the irony
teaser alert. He's coming in next week. To have a chat with us.
was? Darius CEO.
Darius CVO.
Right here.
Is this really your job,
But-
Stephen?
Yeah.
What is his job?
Oh,
CEO.
dunno, mate.
He's made a diary of it.
Just that's it. He
But
writes
it
a
was-
diary.
It was
Yeah.
funny though, because I had Sarah Davies filming me, and I was like, "Is she gonna put me on her story?" And I was like, and so I looked back. No, Megan Thee Stallion managed to get on her story in the background.
Yeah.
But I was like, but that Megan Thee Stallion doesn't bother me. Similarly, like
Yeah.
it's weird,
Yeah.
isn't it? Whereas I had people DMing me going, "Oh my god, did you meet her?" Whatever, and all that. Like, I'm not being funny. Like, Alex will kill me for saying this, and you two will probably be like, "Ugh, I'm not sure." If I met Beyonce,
Yeah.
I don't think I would have been. I don't think I would be that scared as I was playing in front of Peter Jones.
I think if you're stood in front of Beyonce, mate, you would absolutely shit yourself.
This is what I mean.
See,
This is
I don't know if I would either. I agree.
Do you know what I
wouldn't.
mean?
Like if
Yeah.
I was DJ
But
and
like, I
just
was
came
just
in.
thinking, once again, sports like
Exactly.
you know,
Just doing your thing.
the overlap
Yeah.
with Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher. It's a football podcast,
Yeah,
right?
No.
If I'd be so fascinated to just sit and listen to the football stories of people who have won Champions Leagues
Yeah.
and battled and shared dressing rooms with the greatest football athletes of all time, like Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi. Like, I'd just be like, because I don't know it,
No.
but like, and it's so funny because I feel like I'm discrediting my own industry. But like Ed Sheeran walked in, I'm like, yeah, it's just a bloke who can play guitar.
This is the thing. This is the
Fair
this
play
is
to you, mate.
it.
Yeah, I can relate. Obviously, I'm not saying on the same level, but I'm like,
I get what you're saying.
because it's so,
It's same industry.
yeah.
Same industry. But if it's someone who's done it good in a different industry, you're like, oh my god, look up to them. It's like, right. When I was when I was back at school, the guy from Supertramp,
Yeah.
right?
band?
Roger Hodgson, yeah.
Yeah.
He came and I was backstage with him talking to him, and I was like 17 at the time because I had a little spot before him. I was essentially supporting Supertramp
That's quite cool.
in a weird way, right? In a weird way,
I love that.
right? And I was chatting to him backstage, but I was like, I didn't realise the gravity of who I was talking to.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? Because I was 17 and someone didn't,
Yeah.
whatever. And then he went on and played the Logical song. It's like, and then Breakfast in America.
Yeah.
It was like, what the hell? But then, like, when I was in Vegas, right, and I watched Penn and Teller, the magicians,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
we got to meet them after the show and have a picture with them and all sorts. They came and
That's
did
cool.
that. I got signatures and stuff. I couldn't get my words out
Would you know?
to either of them. Honestly,
I'll tell you who was like that.
Yeah.
Chum when he met Heldens.
Yes. Okay. Oliver Heldens will probably be the only person I'd be like that with.
Yeah.
hands down.
I was just like, hey, mate, you all right?
Yeah. So I'll be like,
I was like, are you playing or am I
it's
playing?
like,
And then we ended up going back to back. I was like, this sounds...
This
Okay,
is
that's
really fun.
that's why
But
I'm
then
gonna
he's...
backtrack.
And then he plays like Tomorrowland in front of 100,000 people.
yeah.
I'm just like, sick.
see, I have this because I'm really lucky because obviously I still pay to go to drum lessons, and like it's one of those where a lot of my mates always say fair play to you because there's not many professional musicians.
I find it mad.
Who-
You know, when you like when I ring you, like, oh yeah, I'm back from my lesson. I'm like, what are you having a lesson in? You're a professional drummer. But
Yeah,
I appreciate it. But I wouldn't go for a DJ lesson now.
No, it's different.
Well,
I'm sorry, it's different.
So my
Would you go for a sax lesson now?
Absolutely.
Would you?
Absolutely. I've actually tried to inquire because there were so many things that I still don't know.
bits, but like my drum tutor,
That's mad.
Lloyd Ryan, 80 years old.
Yeah.
He's played for Cilla Black. He's played for Cannon and Ball. He's toured around. He's done a Beatles movie.
Did he play with Buddy Rich?
He supported with Buddy Rich.
Yeah,
one of
supported
the
Buddy Rich,
biggest,
yeah.
best
Yeah.
jazz drummers of all time. And he'll sit and talk about, like, he talked about Keith Moon from The Who the other day. And he was
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, so when me and Keith Moon got endorsed by Premier, it was so funny. Starts talking about his family and, like, went round for a cup of tea at Keith Moon's house.
Mental.
And it's so, like, I think, because me and Lloyd, like, we've become very close friends, and I see him every week for a drum lesson, and he teaches me a lot. Like, and we talk about the industry, which is so fascinating, because obviously, like, he'll talk about the industry in the 60s onwards, and then topics that I come into and be like, what's your opinion on this? Or what would you do if you were me? And I'm looking at this. It's still so relevant, even though it's a
Yeah.
completely different industry, like social media. He doesn't have a clue about social media.
No, of course
Like
not.
when I do a video and I'll cut a little video up and I go, oh, look, this is us doing it. He went, how the hell have you done that on your phone?
Yeah.
He's like, how does this exist? You know, like, he didn't understand that you can just cut a video. Like he's 80
Yeah.
years old. But then you put him behind the kit and it's all the same. And there was one thing we were having this chat about recently. I've been working with bands where a lot of the players in the band have been doing tours or theatre stuff. So we've had what we call deps in. So people who back up. And because you're used to playing with a band a certain way and everyone is at a certain standard, when someone comes in who's a dep, it's a different feel, which is no problem with the performer. But like as a drummer, sometimes there's a bit more space, so you try to overplay to make it sound fuller because there's a bit of a gap because maybe the sample rates aren't the samples that the keys players playing aren't the same, or it doesn't feel maybe as full as your normal lineup, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like saying if you're used to driving a Ferrari and then the Ferrari's broke down, so you're driving a Volkswagen Polo. No disrespect, that was my first car, I loved it.
My missus
But-
drives one.
But to get the same acceleration or close as much as the Ferrari, you've got to rag the arse
Yeah,
off the
yeah.
Polo to get anywhere
Yeah, I get
near.
Good analogy.
And it's like that,
Yeah.
right? And Lloyd was like, don't do that. He was like, I used to do that all the time. I used to do that. Don't do it. Stop doing it. Get that out of your head. If the band that you perform with aren't at the standard that you're used to, don't overplay, because there'll be somebody in that crowd, like myself, who will watch, and there could be someone who's scouting for a thing, and because you're overplaying, they go, good drummer, but he's overplaying.
Yeah.
How many times have we said that?
But I am doing it. And this year, more than ever, because the band that I play with a lot have had to do different depths and different lineups. So we've been going out with not always the full
The core
product.
band.
I'm coming away finding myself, you're not playing like you because you're not used to play, with the
Yeah.
band. So you're overplaying. And I'm like, so like stuff like that. Top advice from somebody who is, he owns a house. He's got an incredible career. He still teaches now 4 days a week at 80 years
That's
old.
mental.
Someone that I aspire to hopefully
Yeah.
have the longevity
yeah,
he
of
has.
course, yeah.
And the skill at 80 he still plays. And it's still relevant.
Do you know what? That's a nice segue because
Like that.
slightly off camber, you was talking about overplaying if you haven't got the full product.
Mm.
Okay, I feel like sometimes I have to make up the difference in a product on a wedding if the DJ's subpar.
Have you got a shit DJ?
Shit DJ.
100%.
Like if someone can't mix, I
People-
feel like I have to fill in the gaps.
You
Yeah.
overplay.
And I
People
overplay.
need to understand this.
Yeah.
Like, you're an incredible saxophonist.
Oh, I thank you.
You're half decent at banging your cow skins. What I'm saying is, if you have them two and a shit DJ, you're not going to get the best out of them.
No.
Like, if you have me and a bang average saxophonist and like a percussionist who's not really that good, you're not going to get the best out of me.
No, it puts you off, doesn't it?
We bounce off each other,
Yes.
Mm.
and there's the chemistry and that we've
Chemistry
had
is
to play in
key.
years.
Yeah.
But it's also when you'll see it if you've seen us play before, as like a trio. When you do something naughty on the sax, we look at each other and we're like, "Oh my god!" And then I'm like, "Right, come on, boys." Or if I do something, or if you
level up. We all
Yeah,
level up.
yeah.
or if I
level
drop
up.
it out and you pull some naughty fill out, and then I drop it bang in on time, and everyone's just like, "Oh my god,
we had
that
that
was
the
special."
other week. We had that the other week when we were playing Wildsdale Park.
Yeah,
You know, mate, we were just bouncing each other all
just
night.
bouncing off each other. So
But this is the thing, right? It just, for me, like, I could totally see what you were saying about the function side of things, because obviously I'm not in the function scene and at all, but obviously you can closely relate to stuff with me because you play with sax players aside from me on the odd occasion. Now it's not as much anymore,
no.
and I'd say 75% of the time it is normally me.
Well, yeah, because if someone says to me, "I want a sax player," I literally had it yesterday. A lady's inquired for next year.
I couldn't do that,
and you couldn't do it.
No, because I was.
So
booked.
I've now
Just a
gone
bit of a
to
weird
number
one.
2.
Thursday.
Yeah, it's a Thursday. It's booked on
Yeah.
a Thursday.
There's a
already.
lot of gigs next year on Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah.
Mate, I had a Tuesday. We've got a Tuesday next
Next
month.
What a treat.
Yeah.
Tuesday?
We're in Crete on a Monday.
2 weeks. 2 weeks to.
Yeah, well,
2 weeks
internationals are
today.
different. Internationals are usually midweek anyway.
Wow. Yeah, but I think it's a wedding.
No, it is a wedding.
We're
2
flying
weeks-
out
2
on
weeks
Sunday
today.
to play the gig on Monday or Tuesday.
No, Monday. Come back Tuesday.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's neat.
But anyway, point is that, like, you know, when I've had to, you know, and I've been really conscious of my playing recently, for trying to rein it in a little bit and just be a little bit more subtle.
Yeah.
You know, because I have noticed that having filmed myself playing recently, I've been really on it.
Yeah.
Right. I've really tried to rein it in, but with some DJs, I can't do that.
Yeah, you have to.
I have to
You have to go over,
overcompensate.
so then the entire product is actually then raised up.
Yeah.
But if the DJ was at that level, then you'd be able to do that, and then it complements it. I get that.
It's a weird one, isn't it? Because I can't.
Yeah, and mate, some people don't even see like the dynamic difference in terms of that. Oh yeah, it's a DJ, and oh yeah, there's a sax player.
Yeah.
But then when you have people that are professionals that work and complement each other, it's just a different ball game completely.
Okay, so here's something for you. Greg's just nipped to the loo, but
He's had a wee wee. Going for a wee wee.
here's one for you. Okay, so I was thinking about this the other day. So the big thing for me at the moment, okay, is something that we've spoken about, is where do you price yourself at? Okay, right now. Okay, now this can go either way. Okay, I'm talking me specifically.
Yeah.
Okay, and obviously we're not going to discuss how, and we're not going to disclose
$3,000 a minute.
We're not going to.
Did you see my invoices?
Well, but as you're a friend, I'd do it for $2,900
right,
a minute.
I'm not right. We're not going to disclose
Yeah, we
fees
won't
and
discuss
stuff.
actual fees, but
You know, because every fee is different. Because of, obviously we've got our base fee, and then you got like travel and extras and hours and stuff. But this is something that I was trying to work out the other day.
I know where I'm priced at in the market
Yeah,
amongst
and I
other
am,
people.
and I do too. Right.
Yeah.
But what I was getting at was, I had to really think about this the other day, because I went back to a couple of invoices where I was just starting out and where I was, what I was earning way back when, bars and then privates. But then I did inflation, so I went
Yeah.
So I took the fee that I was on back then, right? Then,
When's back when? What year ago?
About 10 years, 2014.
Oh, 10 years ago.
10 years
okay.
ago.
I thought you meant last year. Right,
No.
cool.
And then I took into account inflation, okay,
Yeah.
right? And then I took into account experience,
Right.
okay? And from where I was back then to where I was now, there wasn't that much of a difference. Because then I also took into account cost of living,
Yeah.
right? How much the cost of living's changed dramatically in the past 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even the last year.
And we're all self-employed,
Yeah.
and we've all got to realise that if we was in the same job for 10 years, you would have been promoted however many times,
Yeah.
right? And you've got to see the shift as to where we would be now, and the experience, inflation, cost of living, where we'd be if you was doing a normal job,
Yeah.
right? All that added up is exactly where I'm pricing myself at now.
I was just about to say, just a quick one. So I've just
This must have been the other day, by the way, because I think I asked you for a quote on one day, and then the next day you went
It was.
up.
Do you know what? It was about that same time.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest. I had to stick with my guns with that.
Yeah, fine. It's not me.
I've
It's
I've
the
got,
client
I've
who
got
pays
a
it.
quick one here.
Go on.
£100 in 2014
Yeah.
is the equivalent to how much today? What's the guess?
I think it's about
120.
140 actually.
I was going to say 120.
Bang on the money.
140
It's gone up 40%.
Yeah,
in 10 years.
yeah. I only did it in the other day. Yeah.
Wow.
So when we was earning,
So
let's call
to
it
every £100 you were earning,
Back then, it's 140 today.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you look at your overall year, that's quite a big jump.
yeah,
Well, it's
40%.
40%.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So what you're earning way back then, right? Add 40% to it, right? So your annual.
Yeah.
So let's face it, right? Your annual salary back then, you probably weren't doing as many gigs then, right?
Yeah.
Right. Add 40% onto that.
Yeah.
Then add the extra gigs that you would have had back then. So let's say you were doing 2 gigs a week at, let's say, 200 quid. Okay, that's 400 quid. 40% on top of 40 quid is the 400.
What?
480.
The 480.
No,
Right. So that's
No.
480 a week.
it's not.
Right.
It's 560.
560.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, Dad. Maths was bad then.
Right. Add all that up through the week, and then add plus or minus a couple of gigs, and then add the experience on top of that, so you can add whatever it is on top of that.
How did
whatever.
you work out your experience percentage rise?
Because of how. So I've done it as if I was in a normal job, and how many pay rises, and if I was.
Probations and all that.
Yeah.
stuff.
Right, okay.
What if I was promoted to there?
Yeah.
From there to now. Okay. And I worked out, and I was like, okay, that's where I'm at. And that, to me, I think is exactly a bang on fair where I am now. Now, you could argue that in our industry, we have another factor,
Right.
and that is social media presence. Okay?
Yeah.
Because people,
Relevance online.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because people that are more popular are going to be more in demand. Okay? Because it's the...
Mate, we all know artists that are good, but they've got a banging social media.
Yeah.
And they charge more than me for weddings and
Yeah,
stuff.
so
And I'm
this-
like,
so
you're not
this
a
is
better
the thing.
DJ. And
So-
that's not me being ignorant. I
but
just
so
know
this
that.
is the thing. If you've
Big
been in,
part of the industry.
It is, mate.
so if you've been in the industry 5 minutes,
Yeah.
but you've got 30,000 followers, do you charge more than what we'd charge?
Well, I've
So that's-
actually figured this out, right? There is a DJ from Manchester
Okay.
Right. who's got a big social media. And he's...
I'll go mute this out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is that said DJ.
Yeah.
And I know what he charges for a wedding, right? And bearing in mind, he started DJing in lockdown. I've done it for 14 years, professionally
Yes.
for 13.
Yes.
Experience on weddings, I've probably done over 5,000 weddings
Easily.
in my time.
Yeah.
He's probably done 20, right? However, he's got a very strong social
He
media.
does, yeah.
And I'm not, mate, mine's all right. It's all
Yours
right.
is great.
Yeah, mine's good. But his is, like, he's got, I don't know, 500,000 or whatever.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Is it shot up that much?
Yeah,
I don't
well,
know who
whatever
you're
it
on
is,
about.
he basically he had a few viral.
He did have a couple
You know
of
the
virals.
routines and stuff that I do. He did that, but with like some R&B songs. And I've met him Met him the other day. He seems a nice guy. It's the first time I've ever met him. But what I'm saying is, I know his fee, but I also, then on the flip side, I've got another friend who's obviously a DJ in Manchester, and he's been playing about the same time as me, and his private fee is half of what he charges. And I'm just looking at it and I'm going, the guy who's got more experience should be on the higher fee. In theory, this guy who's big on Instagram should be charged, let's say it's 500 quid for a private. The guy who's got 14 years experience should be charging $1,000.
So this is my point. Okay.
But it's not, it's the other way around.
This is the crooked way of our industry in the self-employed game.
No, it
because
is.
also, like, there's an incredible drummer. On, like, everyone knows him. You know the guy with the massive beard?
I send him you all the time.
You send him all the time, right? Fantastic drummer.
Oh, is he the guy on TikTok?
Mate, he
that goes
plays.
like
Oh
that?
my god.
Yeah.
I piss him off
but-
the amount of videos I send of him drumming.
And he's amazing, and I couldn't do what he does.
Yeah.
No.
But he couldn't do anything I do.
No,
I
definitely
couldn't
not.
send him to cover one gig of mine.
Yeah.
No.
He couldn't
No,
play.
it's
He'd get
but that's
kicked
the
out.
thing. It's very different.
Yeah.
It's very different.
But money-wise, probably absolutely milking it. And if I asked him to keep, like, no, I ain't going out for that. I'd rather do a video and I make like thousands of pounds from a video.
Yeah.
So it's a different,
It
thing.
is different.
Yeah.
and it's what you can do and what you can't do. Like so talking about like this DJ, right? It's a funny one because he will get booked, and this is no disrespect to you or any other DJs. Somebody with 500,000 followers will get booked to be them, and they'll get respected a lot more than someone who's getting booked for a wedding, like, because they've been recommended. So even though they've only got 20 gigs under their belt, say, to speak of weddings, their gigs are going to be so much easier because it's very rare that they're going to have a hard gig.
They will get booked for the niche that
they get
are.
booked by fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 100%.
So the graft is, with all due respect, in my opinion, he's getting a higher fee for doing an easier job.
Yeah.
Because actually, the bigger you get in some aspects of it, which is moving on quite nicely to what I want to talk about. From my experience, the bigger the booking and the bigger the gig, the better you get treated.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
ready for my story time?
Wait, just before you do that,
Okay.
I'm just going to wrap up dead quick. The thing for me is why I said this is because sometimes I've had clients come to me and go, "Oh, can you do it for X?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "No."
Yeah.
And they kind of go, "Well, what have you got to show for it?" And I'm like, "You scroll down my Instagram and look at my first post,
Yeah.
and see how long I've been doing this."
To be fair, mate, like I get it all the time. Oh, can you play my wedding for
X.
$1,000? And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
because I'll just get another gig for my fee that I want.
Yeah.
Because you like, for me, like, it's not. Yes, the money is a thing, but it's also like the fee reflects on a lot of other things. Like respect. So if someone's booking you, they go,
Quality
right,
as well.
I know that you're worth that amount of money. You're
Yeah.
actually worth more.
Yeah.
Because you're going to make my evening at my event, or a wedding or whatever it is, unforgettable.
So the thing is for me, it's
So I won't take the low gigs
professionalism
anymore.
over influencerism in
Yeah,
a way.
yeah.
And it's kind of like, for me, I'm like, okay, if I had say 20k followers as an example,
Yeah.
right? Would I be charging the same amount as what I am now? Absolutely. Because I feel that my fee reflects my professionalism and where I am as an artist, and I think it's an incredibly fair price. It wouldn't change if I had a massive social following or not.
See,
But I do think people take the piss out of it.
I disagree with you on that. If you had a huge following and you were saying,
Say you went
I'm
viral,
going
right,
out.
overnight.
Yeah.
You released your next video, right, that went viral.
Yeah.
I am telling you now, mate, your fee would go up.
and
I wouldn't let it.
no, but
I
I
think
would.
you
would let it.
Do you know what?
I think
I would
that's just
say
me,
to you,
though.
I would say you're being a sausage.
Yeah, make
Up
the money.
your rates now, because there's people out there who haven't got that footage, that following, and they're making more money than you. Because
However-
when you get right, the thing is, in my opinion, when you're getting a following, let's say 500,000 people, you've got 500,000 more views, more shares, or whatever the percentage of the views and shares and likes. So your target audience has just been multiplied. So say you've got 5,000 and they've got 500,000. You've got 100 times more target audience now. So that gig on the 30th of July, you've got 100 times more chance of filling it.
True.
So
Yeah.
if you're charging,
It's supply and demand.
I'm just gonna pull out random figures, so this has no relevance to what we charge. Say if you're charging £1,000 for the 30th of July, but you know you've got 100 times more chance of filling it. If it was me, I'd just charge £5,000, and if I don't get any for £5,000, I'll charge 3. And if I don't get for 3, I'll charge 2, because I know I'm gonna have at least 10 inquiries for £1,000 anyway.
Yeah.
And if you don't, for me, that's you being
That's
really
supply
poor
and demand,
business,
mate. That's
man.
supply and
no,
demand.
so-
That's
okay,
just
so I
That's
agree.
just poor business.
So I agree with supply and demand, but in my head, for just for I don't know. I think it's just me and what I'm comfortable with.
Well,
Do you know what I mean?
I think, yeah, there is that element, because
Yeah.
there is also the thing, if you're getting booked for £5,000 and you turn up, there's an expectation, which you can easily deliver, by the way.
Yeah.
But you get it all the time.
Yeah.
Like, when you start charging, it's like, oh my God, you're X.
Exactly that.
And you're
So
like,
it's
yeah, I
kind of
am.
like-
And then ending at that, yeah, you're worth X.
And yeah,
Yeah.
this
Exactly.
is it. You've got to keep it up. If you're charging £5,000, I'm not saying you're charging £5,000
exactly,
to turn up,
that's
toot
it.
one song, say see you later. I'm not saying that too. I'm
No,
saying
no.
I do
like,
know
you
somebody
provide,
like
big rig, big
Yeah,
like
yeah,
pyro, the whole.
Yeah.
you
You've got to be
a
worth
show.
your weight in
You're
gold.
spending £5,000 on a performance. I'm going to give you £5,000 worth of a performance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
this is
100%.
This is the point. And this is why if like this is why I say if my followers went up to like say 20k, right, nearly on 4, right. I think for me, I wouldn't push myself up to a higher fee to reflect that, because for me, it would have to. The only thing that would ever push my fee up would be what you're saying is supply and demand.
Yeah.
Right? If the bookings were coming in tenfold, it would literally have to be, if you like, I'm getting so many in for the same date, it's that person who's willing to pay the highest. Right?
Yeah, or the first one if it's
All
booked.
yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're not going to say, once again, pulling figures out my ass. Oh, I've agreed with Mr. and Mrs. Smith to pay that for £1,000. But now everyone's saying I could do it for 5. So sorry,
Actually,
Mr.
no,
and
you're
Mrs.
right.
Smith.
Sorry.
It's
you are
£5,000. You can't do that.
No,
No, you
But
are
going
right.
forward, you'd be like, well, hang on. I'm playing for Mr. and Mrs. Smith for £1,000. And I've had 4 inquiries already. So going on next year, how much can I charge, and what is
Yeah,
my
all the
maximum
new
this is
inquiries.
for
my
the
point, sorry.
foreseeable? Once it's in, it's
That's
in,
what I
innit?
meant. Like if say, you know, it went up tenfold, it's like, okay, what would you for the same date next year?
Mm.
Just say or whatever.
Yeah,
but that's the only time I
you
would
have,
ever
like, you
do that.
You increase fees. I had someone message me saying, "Oh, what's your fee for this? It's a wedding, whatever." And I was like, "Oh, it's this." And she went, "Yeah, but you did. It came off the back of another gig." And she went, "Oh, but you played that party for that." I went, "Love, it's gone up £200. It's next year."
Yeah.
Yeah. Inflation.
Jesus Christ! It's not like I've charged you an extra £5,000.
Right. So this is the whole point of what I was saying about inflation, cost of living,
Yeah.
experience. You know, the amount of experience that you've accrued now, like you said in the past. In the past year, in the last episode,
Yeah.
and all the rest of it, doing stuff on differently, it all adds up.
Yeah.
And the thing is as well is that we are so professional and we're so good, and it's like you say, we have to deliver at X because we're worth it.
Yeah.
And
Anyway.
also, once again, let's have a bit of respect for our industry and our graph, because when the banks put all the mortgage rates up by 4%,
Oh my
you
god!
can't barter that, can you?
No.
Sorry, Barclays. I've just renewed my mortgage from 2.5% to 6%, but can we negotiate? Like, that's
No,
what it
doesn't
is.
work like
When
that,
the
does it?
petrol prices go up,
If you go into,
you know what I mean? They say, "Oh, well, you've charged more this year." You go, yeah, because it cost me £40 more to fill up my car to get to your gig.
Yeah.
it's
You didn't think about that, did you?
If you go, if
Loaf
you go
of
to,
bread?
If you go to, yeah, exactly. If
Loaf
you
of
go to
bread?
if you go to Tesco,
like it.
if you
I'm
go
going to play your wedding. Get me a fucking baguette and I'll play it.
You go to Tesco, right?
Sorry
And you
about
see
that.
the club card prices. What you got? Like a fucking club card for the music industry or
Yeah.
something? Come on.
For a one-off gig.
Yeah.
Let's so you're aiming to only get married once anyway, so it's not like it's a recurring booking, is it?
No.
Do you know what I mean? I'll
Oh,
give you a
can you-
loyalty discount.
can you-
I'll give you 3 weddings for the price of 2 if you use
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, it's like, oh, can you do us mates rates? I'm like, I'm not your mate.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And the thing is, right, if you were my mate, you wouldn't ask me for mates rates.
No.
Exactly.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, we're doing your mum's 60th next year, which
Yeah.
is going to be mega.
I
I'm not charging you for that, obviously, because it's your mum. But it's
Yeah.
like, say you got married.
Oh,
or
she's
whatever.
telling everyone she's got a Wembley DJ playing at playing her 60th.
Go on, Jeff.
An inquiry came on the same date. I
Yeah,
told
yeah.
them no. Sadly,
Yeah,
couldn't
I-
do
This
it.
is it. This
I've
is
had
it.
3, mate. I went, no, sorry, it's Jill's 60th. And went, who's Jill? I went, you know, you
Doesn't
don't need to
matter.
know. I got the biggest gig of my year.
Should be blushing. But yeah, that's the thing. Like people, but so
So anyway, so what were you gonna move on to?
well, I
I
was
know we
gonna
strayed off.
say
Respect the feast, people. And just
Yeah.
I
fucking
respect
say
the
it.
gig. Here's a little story for you. A story time for you and the listeners. So about 4 or 5 weeks ago, with my band LP Collective, we got booked to play a private event out in Marbella. We got flown out. The equipment was all provided. They had a tech team, everything. The client paid for the whole, like a 10-piece band
Wow.
to fly out,
That's not
stay in
cheap.
Marbella for 3 nights. I literally turned up. The drum kit was set up. Everything was set up. I literally just played my
Nice.
sticks. They were like, "Do you want to tune it a bit for your settings?" I'm like, "Yeah, change it around a bit." Like, I did nothing, as in the prep, the setup.
Yeah.
It's all paid for. Amazing.
Which you normally have to do.
Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. You know,
Yeah.
depending on the stature of the gig, straight up
Mm.
like that. Because if they pay for the tech support and techies, that's their job.
Yeah.
If they don't, then So sometimes you will do more work for less money, depending on the stature of the job.
Yeah.
So I played Marbella. It was amazing. The agency and the clients paid for us to stay out in Marbella, and then we got booked. Like, this is well in advance in Porto. So we flew out to Marbella, played the gig in Marbella, had 4 days of chill, band, holiday, sightseeing, flown out to Porto, played the gig in Porto. Now, the client in Porto
Hmm.
was the nicest client I've ever played for.
Nice.
Oh,
The
it's,
family,
the guy.
it was amazing. They put us up in this incredible, and I'm not saying it's to do with the wealth or because I know not everyone has these facilities to do it, but it was the etiquette.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we turned up, we got to our place, we were looking at a water park opposite the venue to go. They were like, "Well, actually, my dad owns it. I've arranged, without you even asking, we didn't even know it's to do with dad. I've arranged for it to all be, you can go and have whatever you want for free." Like, they thought out the box. They were like, "Also, there's a restaurant down there on the right. All the meals are sorted,
Wow.
paid for. We've already booked your table. But if you don't want to, I can cancel that, and we can do a food shop for you to have a barbie on the terrace because there's a barbecue here.
That's
Whatever you
Oh
want."
my
Like,
God.
it wasn't the flex of the money, it was the thought.
Yeah.
Like, this client is getting married the next day, and they are giving us options on whatever we want to do. Because they were like, "How do we've got this band to fly out here, we invest in this band, we really love the band, they're going to do a great job. How can we make them have the nicest time possible?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Mate, you're getting married
Yeah.
tomorrow, and you're pulling up at Porto Airport in a minivan, driving us all up, getting us free passes for a water park, and booking us a 3-course meal."
I bet you any money, you would have done anything to keep that client happy.
We
I bet
played an
you
extra hour.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I
And
mean.
you think
don't
an extra
mind,
an extra hour, even if it was 200 quid, but it's a 10-piece band, that's
Yeah.
2 grand's worth of stuff.
mate. Yeah.
Because it's not even the money value, it's the etiquette. It's like, I wanted to do more for him.
Yeah.
Because he'd done so
That's what I
much
mean.
for us.
Yeah.
So, but this is the thing. Like, you could, like, okay, right. So I bet you, fee wise, you were looked after.
Yeah, great
Yeah.
fee. Well, when you're booking us out for 3 days abroad, it's 3-day fee because I could have
No, exactly my
so
point.
it is a bigger
right?
fee.
Yeah.
But also, right. So here in So let's take that from like a UK point of view.
Mm.
Okay, right. So if you were getting your normal fee in the UK, right, the clientele that you're playing for, you want to make sure that across the board you're doing the best job that you could possibly do, regardless of where it is and who it's for. However, if the client, right, is a dickhead, right, it's going to leave the biggest sour taste in your mouth because you've done everything in, even though he's probably thinking, I'm paying you X, so you've got to perform, like what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Right? But my God, the client, like the etiquette are surrounding that.
Yeah.
It's like I've always said this, treat others how you want to be treated. If you're turning up, big smiles, we have to do that anyway, but big smiles and you're like, oh my God, don't worry, I've got this, it's all good, right? If someone's coming to you and they're going, oh my God, I can't wait, like, thank you so much, you need anything, have as much food as you want, don't worry about it, get involved, here's a free bar for you, have as many drinks if you want it, blah, blah, blah. You're like, okay.
I had
I'm
it
good.
yesterday at the bat mitzvah.
Yeah.
They were lovely.
Yeah.
And, like...
Makes you want to do
Yeah,
even more.
so I was
exactly
there.
that.
And in theory, right, the beatboxers, which we mentioned last, I could have said, oh, no, I'm going to let them go back on because that's what the schedule is. I was like, nah, get them off. I'm going on now, and we're having a party because they were killing it. And it was meant to finish at 11. And I went, no, sod it, we're going till half 11.
Yeah, they didn't ask you. You were like, nah, we can
mate, I
got
got on the mic and I went, guys, it's 5 to 11. Unfortunately, this is the last one, but I'm not going to stop playing yet. I don't want to.
Exactly.
There you go.
And we only stopped, mate, because the police turned up. So,
Mate, we did the same. So in Porto, he came up to us and he said, right, here's the situation. The wedding and the day and the food and everything has been booked for 140 people. But because we've got married out in Portugal, there's only 120 come, meaning that there is 20 three-course meals and a set table. Now, funnily enough, with the band and all the extra staff and all the entertainments team that we've got in, there's 20 of you. So you've got your own table at our wedding. So we were part of the speeches. So we got fed food, wine, everything. As part of, we were at the back table, we were literally behind the bridesmaids. Like, we were literally there. And then it got to his speech. And his speech was part of a song, and he was going to perform this song. And he went, oh, I'm a bit nervous because it's like personalised speech. I was like, well, do you want us to help? And he was like, oh. I was like, well, you've got a 10-piece band. Do you want us to sing along? Do you want us to back you? And he's like, oh, well, I've got a track. I don't know if we should play it or not because I'm used to tracks. Like, it's all right, well, we'll just encourage you, because he was nervous.
Yeah.
So when he got up for his speech and he broke into song, the band table were like singing along with him, and everyone was like, "Whoa!" And we were like backing him.
Yeah,
and it's like some of us, obviously, like myself, aren't actually a vocalist, but like it was that, team. We were his music team.
Yeah.
And it's that etiquette.
But you wouldn't have done that if he was a knobhead.
No,
exactly.
Like, don't want to do that.
Exactly.
Like, no, mate, you
or
paid
you treat
me.
us like, well, this is the thing. So, which I'm going to get to, but some venues, we turn up, and they're like, you can't eat any of the food. You go, sorry, I've driven 4 hours to come do this gig.
Yeah.
Can't eat any of the food.
Yeah.
You're the band.
Oh yeah, no. Or there's no fair enough.
And
You
you're
can't
like-
have a 3-course meal, but even if there's no crew food. That's
No.
not right.
We're like, you
What are you on
booked.
about?
Like, we've come from Liverpool.
Yeah.
We're like in Aberdeen, mate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's only so much Mackey's and service station you can do. I'm not just a pizza or burger and chip, just something that isn't like
Summer.
plastic.
Yeah.
So let me tell you about this event.
Go on.
So I just come off Marbella and Porto.
Great gig, great time.
Amazing.
Thoroughly this is why I do
Great
it.
people. Really had a great time. Felt professional. Felt loved. Felt like
Appreciated.
I've been performing really well.
Yeah.
Like, as a drummer, you have to really keep up with your stamina.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
like,
of
I've
course,
been
yeah.
playing like 3-4 hours a day. I'm like season fit.
Yeah.
Like, I've done my pre-season.
Yeah,
Like, as a
yeah.
drummer now, like, if you said, right, we got 6 hours of drumming, I could do that.
Yeah.
Not a lot of drums could. I'm up for it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm feeling good. Season fit, if you want to talk it that way. Turn up. And I was playing, I was doing like a friend favour vibe.
Right.
So one of the bands that I play with is a very close friend of one of the band leaders, and like, can we do this wedding? I was like, absolutely. She is a lovely person. Sounds great. I turn up at the wedding. And it's a lower budget, great wedding, lovely.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. And started playing, and it's all going well. And say there's 150 people there. There's probably 100, 120 people on the dance floor having a great time. And this woman comes up who I don't know, and it's not the friend client. It is a guest of the wedding. And they come up and say, can you play, I forgot what it was, Whitney Houston. And we had a set list from the clients. So we're like, look, actually, we could squeeze Whitney Houston in there. It goes kind of well with a set. So, played Whitney Houston, and this person is nowhere to be seen. Last 20 seconds of the song, gets up and dance. Finished dancing, comes straight to me, goes, can you play Taylor Swift? Go, look, we're not going to play Taylor Swift as a band, but we're DJing after this, so we're going to play Taylor Swift on the DJ, because we've got to do the repertoire that the bride and groom have actually wanted.
Not a lot of people realise that, by the way. That the bride and groom, they're just like, especially with a band.
Yeah.
Like with a DJ, they're like, yeah, we sort of like these tunes. I'm like, yeah, sound. I'll work them in.
Yeah.
But with a band, they can like the bride and groom or the client has like quite a big say if they want to.
Yeah.
Of like, I really want that song. I want that song, and then you build a set around.
Yeah,
that
you've
tune.
got to-
We have do's and don'ts.
Yeah.
So some people love like that rock, like Mr. Brightside, Sex on Fire, and some people are like, absolutely not. She comes up, says, can you play Taylor Swift? I said, no, we'll play on the DJ after. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. I promise you I'm not going to cry. And so I was like, whatever. We're still mid-playing. So at this point when she's having conversations with me, I'm behind my drum kit and I'm playing songs with the band there. So she's come up past the stage area, come up, and she's like here whilst I'm playing, right? It's proper like walked into my
It's a
office.
funny member of the band to speak to.
Well, there's only two of you.
There was
wasn't
only two in this little duo setup.
Oh,
and
right.
I'm backing vocals, but the other person is singing full time. So I get it.
Yeah,
I get why. I get why.
Is it you and Ben?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so she's then come up to me on the last song of the set. It was an encore, and there was 100 people dancing, and we play a song, and it was "Shut Up and Dance with Me," and it was all going off. A great song. And she comes up to me, and she shouts in my ear as I'm sat down drumming, and she goes, "You're shit. This is shit. This is the shittest thing I've ever seen. You're shit, and you need to know that this is so shit." And walks off.
Oh.
She hasn't got a very good vocabulary, has
Well,
she?
everybody knows how I would react to that.
Well, I
Yes.
said to her, because I didn't want to let the bride down, because I knew of them. I knew I'm not shit. I've just been flown in from Marbella and Porto.
No, there's never any doubt.
I'm
in your
not worried
ability,
about
mate.
that. So I just smiled and said, thank you so much for your constructive criticism.
Nice.
Have a nice night.
That was calm.
And when I said, have a nice night, I meant, go fuck yourself. But I said, have a nice night.
Professionalism. Professionals always having a smile.
I smiled at her.
Yeah.
It's like this. But it was nice. It was a smile. So that was fine. Anyway, finished that, packing down the drums. She came back over. I thought, oh, this is going to be nice. I thought maybe it could be an apology. She got carried away in the moment.
Oh, sorry, I really wanted Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Question your ability.
Never mind. She came up to me and she said, I just need to tell you again that this is so shit. And honestly, good luck to you. Because if you're trying to make it, this is the other thing, everyone belittles our industry. If you're trying to can you imagine saying it to a solicitor? If you're trying to make it in your industry, stay away from London. Because I'm from London. And if you went to London, you wouldn't last 2 minutes. Because everything's great in London. And the music quality is great in London. So you better stay away from London. Because you're so shit.
Just
You'd never make it in London.
Just jumping in there, actually, just dead quick. I actually had that a couple of years ago. An ex-girlfriend of mine messaged me out I can't remember what it was about, but I remember specifically, I've got the messages somewhere, and she said, "Oh, when are you moving down to London?" I was like, "I'm not," and she went, "Oh, well, you know, you've made it when you're in London." I kind of went, "You have no clue."
How many artists do we know in London that
come back?
No, mate. They think going to London's like the big thing. Yeah, in London you probably get the same fees as what you get here,
or less.
Yeah, well, yeah, because it's so competitive, and I'm not being funny, but they live literally like gig to gig for paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not being funny, but I hate London.
Oh, I do.
I'm in and out of London.
I know of people who have turned down 6-month tours on theatre shows for more money
Yeah.
because they are scared to lose their lower paying residency gigs in London, because when they come back from the tour in 6 months, they won't get the residency gigs and they can't afford their rent. So they've turned down bigger job opportunities because they're so insecure financially because of London.
Anyway,
Marburg.
sorry, continue your story. I just wanted to jump
So
in
she
there.
came up and she said, "You'll never make
you'll
it.
never
in
make
London."
it. You never go. And she goes, "It's great in London. It's great in London. Like, you have no idea." And I was like, "Have you heard my accent?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a Londoner, but we're in Liverpool. I'm not Scouse, am I?" So she's telling me about London, which is 40 minutes from my family home, which my dad took me into London 3 times a month
Yeah.
to watch gigs and to be. I've gigged in London. I auditioned in like
Right,
I played.
go on.
Yeah. So I was like, so that's that. It's like brilliant. So I just said again, smiled again, put my professional smile on, and said, cut that out. And then I just said, my mum always said, if you ain't got anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So in other words, have a nice night, meaning fuck off.
Fuck
you
off.
unbearable person.
Yeah.
So it carried on. So we went on, started DJing, and then it turns out that this individual was out with 2 family members. So I'd spoken to the mother, the daughter was there, and the grandmother was there. So I dealt with
So you've
the
got
middle
all
one.
the women of the family.
Yeah.
Right.
They were a lovely family. They had really great ethics. So then Granny came up to me. I was
You had the
playing.
gran.
I was playing Shaka Khan Ain't Nobody.
Is this when you
So hang on,
DJ?
so this,
So I'm
This is
DJing now.
post-
So you've just
drumming.
So this is post drumming after you've had the
You're doing your DJ.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not
Which I will just say.
DJ playlisting.
Yeah,
I'm not DJing.
Yeah.
I'm providing the musical playlist for the.
But you had
You're
that
mixing a
out.
few tunes.
Yeah.
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 I'm doing a little wicka.
The main
but-
thing is the band. The main thing is the
yeah,
band, right?
They
And
put
then
the
you
band, and we're
provide a
doing the
service
afters.
after.
Yeah,
Right.
little wicka
Yeah.
wicka.
So you've just
nothing
so
serious.
So just
DJ.
to sum up, you've just played your set. You've had some woman come up to you selling you shit about 5 times. You've finished the band. You've told her to politely fuck off without saying fuck off.
Yeah.
And now you're DJing.
Yeah.
And you've had and the mother of said Karen has now come up to you.
Yeah.
Got it.
Shaka Khan, Ain't Nobody. Dance floor still full of 100 people. And she said, I've got, straight over the DJ decks, I've got a complaint to make. I went, oh, have you? Okay. She goes, how do you think this is acceptable to play at a wedding?
What, Shaka Khan Ain't Nobody? I've
It's
played it
probably
every
one
wedding.
of the most played.
Either that or Uptown Funk or September.
Yeah.
Luther Vandross.
Yeah, never
Yeah.
too much.
It's
yeah.
in that ballpark. That's what I was going for.
Same
It
key
worked.
as well.
101.
Dance
It's
floor
in,
was-
the, it's in the same key as well, by
There
the
you
way.
go. What a
Oh,
treat.
yeah.
Oh, you naughty girl.
Never too much. Ain't Nobody. Superstitious. Jocelyn Brown.
Wow.
All in E flat.
Yeah.
All in E flat.
Continue.
DJs, you can mix them all together in one and it sounds good. Anyway, sorry. Carry on.
Yes. Carry on.
So I was like, okay, so what would you suggest? And she was like, play some country. And I was like,
Ooh! Ooh! I'm so glad I went on this gig.
and
I'd
I
have
was
let
literally,
Hellfire on it.
I literally was like, okay, well, give me a song and I'll put it on the list. And if it's appropriate to fit it in. But you can't just go from Shaka Khan to country. I'm playing for the mass, not just for you.
Yeah.
But if the night goes that way, then I'm happily put it in. But we're not just come up, pick a song, and it's not a jukebox.
Yeah, you're not.
Do you know what I mean? And we're going off a playlist that the bride and groom have recommended what they want. There was no country music on that. So I'm like, it's not your gig, right? But I'm open to it. So then the daughter came. So I've had granny, I've had
the mum.
mum. Now daughter came up, said,
How old's daughter?
Early 20s?
20.
Right, okay.
Yeah, 22.
Okay. So we've got 20, 50 and what, 70?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Ballpark,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 20 comes up, daughter. Can you play some like old school R&B? And I'm like, Shaka Khan into old school. Yeah, we're not far off. I was like, what would you suggest? She's like, something like Justin Timberlake. I was like,
Yeah.
right. It's not. I wouldn't say that's old school R&B, but okay, I'm kind of getting what
Yeah,
you
yeah,
said,
yeah.
like noughties pop.
You want the throwback R&B
Yeah.
that you hear in every venue.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
like, sound. So I'm like, Senorita. She's like, absolutely. I was like, the crowd's going off to Shaka Khan.
Yeah.
We'll go to Senorita. It's that sort of vibe. I drop Senorita. It's going off.
Yeah.
Granny comes back.
Oh,
How on earth do you think this is country music?
wow.
Oh dear.
Getting a bit flustered now.
Yeah.
Because all I want
Yeah.
to say is fuck off.
Yeah, but you
Yeah,
can't. You can't do that.
This is another instance where our group chat was popping.
Popping.
Yeah, it
So I'm
was,
just
yeah.
there like, this obviously isn't country music. I haven't got time to explain this to you. Why isn't any family member grabbing away? Because this is embarrassing. Like, if my nan was like this, I'd be like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Mhm.
How are you conducting yourself?
Yeah.
But obviously not.
Yeah.
And so I explained. And I just said, look, I've got your list. I've got your little recommendation. As I said before, I'll play it if it becomes appropriate. You know, bear with me on this. Next thing you know, this massive bloke comes up behind the decks,
Oh,
comes straight in, like he's like there.
he's come into the sacred
Yeah,
spot.
he's come in, he's come round, he's come into the office, he's come round, he's flipped the desk, and he's standing above me behind my office chair. That's what he's basically trying to do.
And he's not your boss.
No, I don't know who he is. He didn't even introduce himself. He said, I've got a request to make. As like squaring up to me. And I went, absolutely, mate. I went, as I've said to people, give me it. I'll write it down on a list. If it's appropriate to put it in, I'll put it in. If I've got it, like whatever. All right, so what is it? And he went, well, actually, I've heard that you've been really rude and disrespectful when people have come up to make requests. So I thought I'd come back here and check it out.
So basically, he's squared up to you.
Yeah, he's basically said, I've heard you've been a gobshite, let's go. And I'm there like, there's still 100 people on the dance floor.
Yeah, you've still got it popping.
So I'm there like, right, mate. I went, I've just said, what I've said to you about the list, I've just said to everyone. So, once again, if you've got a request, I'll write it down and I'll try and put it in tonight. You went, I actually haven't got a request right now. So he's just come up to square up to me.
He's basically
Yeah.
just come to be a twat.
To check it
He didn't
out.
even request anything that the granny requested. So he's not even like double tried to back
Yeah,
it. He's
yeah.
just come straight in as in like, if we've got a problem, let's go. I'm just
Wow.
doing my job.
Yeah.
It's brilliant, isn't it? Like, can you imagine that in Aldi where they don't give you your like 2 chicken wings for the same price? So you're like, have we got a problem here? Let's go.
Yeah.
It's like,
Let me go get me dad from me at the
yeah,
car.
yeah, I'm going to tell my dad about you. He's a lawyer.
Comes in on his Zimmer frame.
Get off. Anyway, so yeah, and he said, but if something comes to mind, I'll come back. And then he poked me in the chest and went, and I'll let you know.
Oh my god.
I just thought, what is, like, what's going
How
on?
long have you? So what time is this?
I got another 2.5 hours of DJ.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's not a good place to be.
Mate, we're 25 minutes into my DJ set.
Wow.
This is like, we haven't got what we
Are
want
you solo riding as well? Has Ben gone on?
at this point. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's only gaffing it. When
It's
it's like
horrible.
that. Yeah, it
it's
is.
horrible.
Especially
and
when you
then-
got 2.5 hours left as well.
Ben came back. We switched over for a bit. I went to the bar. I was on tap water anyway. I was driving. Just got back from Porto. Got Ben a beer. And someone spills a drink on my back.
Someone swilled you.
Well, it's him, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
Oh,
It's
is it?
Pokey blokey.
Pokey blokey.
Oh, accidental. And then I'm like, obviously, you want to kick off now. It's not even like an aggressive thing of like, I want to fight. It's like, out of a personal human respect,
Yeah.
you'd walk away. You'd be like, I'm not enjoying this environment.
Yeah.
I'm never going to be treated like this. No one treats me like this. I'm walking away.
Yeah.
But when you're getting paid by the client who you kind of know, and you're doing it as a mate's rate,
Yeah.
so you're stuck in this very... Because if I didn't know the client, I would go up to the client and say, look, this is what's happening. I suggest you sort it out, otherwise I'm going to stop my performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not here for this. But because it's the whole line of friend, mates, rates, it's my band member's friend, it's not
Yeah.
Yeah.
mine, it's like, what do you do? And as I walk away with 2 pints in my hand, pint of lager and a pint of water, that said individual again ruffles my hair like a school kid and goes, "Way!"
Pokey blokey.
Yeah. And I just blank stare him, thinking like, I would love to stick the nut on you right now,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to. So I just straight go back behind the DJ booth. And that is the first time I ever thought I could never be a DJ.
Yeah.
The amount of respect that DJs need and patience and shit that they get is far worse than a band.
Yeah.
Period. Like, I've never experienced anything like it.
It's not. It's mate. When you have someone like that, I've got to the point now where I just doubt them. I just got to fuck off.
But
Like,
what's
who are you?
amazing of
You're
that night,
respectful.
right? So I was playing it with my business partner, and he was like, "What a great night! We've had 4 or 5 inquiries.
Yeah.
The bar wanted to hire us. They loved us. Everyone's loved it. The clients were so happy." And the 3-4 unbearable people out of the whole event, I dealt with all night. So we're talking like 4 out of 150 people.
Yeah.
But it ruined my night.
Do you know what?
Worst
I
gig
think-
I've ever done.
Right.
Wow.
I think.
Worst gig. Hated it.
Wow.
I think, right, this would be a really good place to pick up on the next pod, because I've got an idea of where I want to go,
Okay.
right? But I think we should wrap it up now, because I
Yep.
think it's going to get really long.
Okay.
But just hold that thought, because
Yep.
I know exactly where I want to
We'll start off with this next
Start
pod.
off with this in the next one. But yeah, I think
Until next time, people.
yes. See you in a bit.
Bye.
When I passed you in the doorway.